Good morning, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Fed meeting day one starts today. Whoa, lights going crazy here. Starting to throw a little party. Fed meeting day one starts today, then tomorrow day two, followed by the press conference. So, I don't know. Last time we had a Fed meeting, in similar circumstances like this, we did have a sell-off on day one. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens today. I'd expect maybe a little bit of a sell-off followed by some chop. That's what I'm thinking on the SPY against 420. We'll see what happens. We're at we're near 418 now. SPY got as low as 414 in the pre-market session here. Just taking a look around here real quick at some news. Don't really see anything. All right, guys, give me a second here. Let me put out a tweet, let everybody know we're live. And in the meanwhile, go ahead and gather your tickers you want me to go over or your questions you want me to go over, and we'll go ahead and jump on those. All right, that's done. Good morning, Dwayne. Good morning, Jan. Glad to see you guys here. Let's take a look at some of these movers today. We got Delta Airlines rallied 3.7% in pre-market, while United jumped 3.9%, and Southwest added 2.9%. All three airlines raised their revenue outlook, saying air travel is rebounding from the earlier slump induced by the variants. So we got that. Toyota announced an additional production cuts due to semiconductor shortages a few days after cutting its domestic production target by as much as 20%. My God. Production of about 14,000 minivans would be impacted by the latest announcement. Toyota gained 2.8% in pre-market. BABA dropped 4.7% in pre-market trading after falling for the past 3 days and losing more than 27% over the past 9 trading sessions. The Chinese e-commerce giant is under pressure due to both fears of the economic shutdown in China and the threats of possible US delisting. Those fears have hit other China stocks that list in the US, such as JD, BIDU. Both of these fell 3.8 and 5.1%. Let's go check BABA real quick here. Wow, bro, this thing's just gotten demolished. Go to a weekly chart. It looks like it really wants to get back down there to 58. Those initial IPO lows. Wow. That's some wild moves, guys. Hey guys, do me a quick favor. We got 15, 16 people watching the stream. Thank you very much for tuning in. Help me out there and hit that like button for me. It really helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. All right, let me see what you guys got going on there. Jose, good morning. Jan, AMD, sure, we'll go over AMD. Yeah, AMC has bought, has put a 20% investment or 20 some odd percent investment into Highcroft. That's that mining company. So they've done that. So they'll get a board seat. I mean, I don't know why it's such a weird thing. Exactly, Taylor. AMC buying HYMC is crazy. It is crazy. It almost feels like a desperation move, to be honest. And I know apes wouldn't want to hear that, but that's a reality. Why would a movie production company, right, a entertainment company like that, put such a large investment into a mining company? You would think that if they have debt like crazy. So if you think they were going to invest some of the money they have on hand, they would invest it within their own business by acquiring a business like theirs, right? Some movie rights. I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of AMC's dealings, but in my mind, I would be trying to acquire something that would complement my business and help it get out of the trouble it's in. I don't know. It feels like a desperation move. It really does. There's the move on HYMC. Off of that news. Ari Ape went out and bought this thing in pre-market. Look at this. From 120 all the way to $3. Wow. Let's look for some levels here. At 140 level. 180. 250s, 240s doesn't look bad, but that's just way too close to where we're at right now. Maybe that $2 zone. That's the best looking zone right now. If it really comes down to it, you can see support back here. And resistance right in there. So maybe that $2 zone. We're definitely going to put that one on the watch list. And that's a for sure. So let me get to work on this real quick here. Okay, so AMC buys 20% stake. Watching the $2 area for support. Could have room towards 3. All right, that one's easy enough. Okay, so Jan, you wanted me to take a look at AMD. AMD right back down here to 99, guys, again. That's that level we talked about. There it is. Tap, tap, tap. Tap. This is the day that we talked about it again right here, and that move was caught from the $100 level all the way up here to over 110, and now we're right back on here. That's not a good sign. That's not necessarily a good sign, especially with the volume as strong as it is on these drops. So if 99 holds, great. You can watch for a move back to 110. Otherwise, I'd watch for 99 to crack. So AMD watching the $99 area for support for a bounce back towards 105 to 110. But if 99 cracks, watching for it to become resistance for a fade down towards. Now let's go find some support levels under 99. $95. So basically 90. Towards 90 to 95. area. So that's what I'll be watching on AMD, Jen. Young, yep, Tesla we will definitely get to. Jose, AGRI made a nice move yesterday. We were watching that one. And then it gave it all up. And then now here today, look at the move we've gotten out of it in pre-market. So AGRI yesterday made that nice little move right here. Boom. And then not much. Gave it all up. Went red. And then boom. And then now, all the way back down here. This thing is just so volatile. It really is. Guys, do me a quick solid. We got 18 people watching the live stream and 8 likes. Throw 10 likes up there for me. It really helps out. So on this one, I'd still watch $4. I'd still watch that $4 zone. This high from back here. See if that holds support. So far in pre-market, it has been support. You could have room towards 5. MULN. MULN, guys, remember we drew this line yesterday? Look at the hold so far. Look at the hold so far at that level. Those are those 150s. Where do those 150s come from? Right here. See if that level continues to hold support. If it does, it could be a good little area. Look at this 150 back here. That's all 150. This bottom line right here is all 150, which is the same as this line. So keep eyes on that level there on MULN. I'm going to put it on the back burner list on the watch list. MULN, still watching the 150 area for support. Could have room towards 2 to 250. Taylor, good morning. KSCP. Let's take a look at that. Give me 1 second here, guys. All right. So KSCP, huh? There's nothing here. There's literally nothing here right now. $5 maybe. This thing is on a steady downtrend. And I mean, I don't see any reason why this would change unless you get some good press release come out. This little pop got sold into. And I would suspect, unless some major press release comes out, every pop will get sold into. Because people are trying to get out of this. People who bought all these highs, they're trying to get out of this when they get these pops, so they sell into them. There's nothing there right now. Joey, good morning. Glad to see you on here. All right, so we got HYMC, AMD, MULN. You guys got anything else you want me to look at? We'll look at Tesla in a little bit. Yep, no problem, Taylor. My pleasure. All right, let me see what else we have out here. Peloton getting that bounce off of 20. Guys, you remember we talked about this trade here? Rejection of the $40 level for a fade back down here to 22. We got exactly that. Exactly that move. That was amazing. Now we would watch for this $23, $22 zone for resistance. That's what we would watch now. That's what we're gonna watch for now. Joey, yep. I would not doubt it. Another wild one today. It's gonna be a wild year. It's just gonna be a wild year. How low can AMD GP? I don't know what GP means. And I'm guessing you mean AMD as in the stock. Oh, I think you mean how low can AMD go? If that's the case, we're at the $99 support zone, $100 support zone. If that cracks, AMD could go as low as the 70s. And I would say, in my opinion, and I'll be buying, I would say it's a screaming buy. Look at all our previous support here in the 70s. I mean, that would be, I think the lowest it would go. Because I doubt it would get back down here to the 50s. It is possible. And my God, that'd be a great price. You know, for long term, like when I say, oh, this is screaming buys, that's a long term hold. That means, and I own AMD, that means I'm buying it and I'm holding it for the next 10, 20 years. I just woke up. Yep. Yep. All right. So let's see what else. Vimeo. This one said, what is it? Said its February revenue was up 23% compared to a year ago, with the video software company also reporting 8% increase in subscribers and 13% jump in average revenue per user. Vimeo added 2.5% in pre-market. Are we sure it added 2.5% in pre-market? Don't really see that. This stock has gotten demolished. That's not even worth looking at. All right, let's see what else we got here as far as news goes. Stock futures edged into green as oil prices continued to drop further below $100, boosting hopes that energy prices won't drag the U.S. economy into a recession. The gains were muted in a volatile trading as traders continued to eye the latest with ceasefire negotiations in Ukraine and China, lockdowns that could wreak havoc on tech supply chains. Here we go again. Man, because things aren't expensive enough, right? Investors were also reluctant to commit capital ahead of a big Federal Reserve monetary decision Wednesday, where the central bank is expected to hike rates for the first time since 2018. Dow Jones Industrial Average futures traded marginally higher, and the S&P 500 NASDAQ 100 futures gained 0.1 and 0.3% respectively. Earlier in the session, futures were down slightly. Oil prices continued to fall for a second day. U.S. crude futures slid about 8% to 94.55 per barrel, after topping at 130 a barrel a week ago. Meanwhile, the international Brent benchmark was down 7% to 98.46 per barrel. I'm actually surprised, to be honest, to see oil pull back as hard as it is. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. because at the rate the oil was going, man, and I think oil still goes up later on as summer creeps in. I think this pop in oil was a little bit early, and it was mainly caused by the whole Russia-Ukraine war. Okay, so I still think we see oil well over $100 by summertime. So maybe we'll get an opportunity to get into some oil stocks, good stocks, not the IMPPs and crap, before the summer. So I'm gonna keep an eye on that. But yeah, I still think oil gets up well over 100 by summertime. But at least we got a break now, because at the rate it was going, I think we would have been in a recession by the end of the year. Honestly, it was horrible. It was getting way out of hand. Because you got to remember, it's not just like, oh, oil goes up, so gas goes up. Yeah, but that means everything goes up, because everything's delivered, and everything's delivered with vehicles and boats, and that costs money to move. And if the fuel used to move these things is more expensive, then, well, shipping prices go up. And that gets passed off to the manufacturer or the suppliers. And then they have to raise their prices, and so on and so forth. And at the end, the consumer is the one that bites that bullet. So glad to see oil coming down some here. Now, let's see. With, mRNA, Joey. Jackie, good morning. mRNA is 156. Where do I see that going? You're at some resistance here at 168. And you also have some potential resistance right here at 156. I don't see this doing much. Maybe it makes a move towards 168. You got the 50-day moving average there, which is this blue line, plus all these previous tops in that area. The king, that in part that is true, and I've always said it as well, but that it's not fully 100% across the board. When everything goes up, they never go back down, because gas prices did go down. They went down tremendously over the past few years. Not necessarily only because of the lockdowns. They had just been going down for a while there, and they weren't bad. They weren't bad at all, and everything was a lot more affordable, to be honest. And look, for example, as something that went down, trade ideas. It sounds crazy to me, right? Like, oh, what is the guy talking about trade ideas? Trade ideas, actually, their price had gone up over the years. And then now recently, they were able to negotiate their costs down. And that means they brought their price down as well for the consumer. So that was nice to see. So, I mean, prices do go down. So if anybody's interested in trade ideas, you can take advantage of that price drop they did, plus a 15% off code here in chat. So they do go down. Just obviously they don't go back down usually to the original pricing, but I mean that's expected. But they do go down. Grub. Wow, I'm not getting anything here. Is this thing halted? Did Grub get halted? I don't know if this is an issue with my chart or if Grub got halted, but yeah, this is really weird. That 557 zone area of potential support and resistance here at 670. Dwayne, Disney. Yeah, I want to buy some more Disney for the long-term hold. I definitely want to buy some more Disney. There's a decent little area here at Disney for a short-term bounce. Resistance there. Previous support back here. Previous support right there. And now we're right at that level. So keep an eye on that level. We're actually bouncing off of it in pre-market. Pretty strong bounce already. 2 points gone. 3 points gone right there. So that's a nice little bounce on Disney. Keep an eye on that one, guys. If Disney cracks that level, maybe we get down here towards 118 to like that 110 level. Yep, that'll be fun. I'll add to my long-term holds on Disney for sure. Taylor, it says it's getting delisted. Grub. I don't see anything here on Yahoo. I don't see anything on here for some reason. That's wild. Guys, yesterday I shared this in the Discord. Oh, and before I forget, later this month, actually on the, let me go to the event section of the Discord. On March 22nd at 6 p.m., we will be hosting the first study group session with DTC Pro students in the Discord. So just in case you guys aren't aware, some of you might be DTC Pros. March 22nd, all right? Give me a second here, because I don't know if I shared this with you guys yesterday. Trade Ideas has a free simulator, a free paper trading account. Let me get you that link. Here we go. Free paper trading account. There you go. Just in case you guys don't have that. Okay. So, you guys have any other tickers you want me to look at for you? Or any other questions? If not, we'll start jumping into the scans and into those news articles to see what's what, and we can start working on the watch list. So far on the watch list, we have HYMC, AMD, and MULN. We'll still got to go over the SPY. We still got to go over Tesla. We'll still got to talk a little bit about the Fed. So all that's up and coming here. So yeah, a few minutes there. Throw up those questions and tickers in the chat, and we'll go over them. Guys, do me a quick solid. We got nearly 30 people watching the live stream and only 14 likes. Help me out there. Hit that like button. It helps out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. Fudaki, haven't seen you in a while. What's going on? Apple broke under the 200-day moving average yesterday. I'm so happy to see that finally happen. Are we still under it? Yes, we are. Beautiful. So I'd like to see Apple now establish resistance at that 200-day moving average and begin to fade itself, maybe back down here towards the mid 140s. That's what I would like to see. And I'll throw it up on the watch list. Apple watching for the 200-day MA to hold resistance for a fade down to the mid 140s. There we go. So that's what I'm thinking. That was the last big tech stock that was not under the 200-day. Don't believe me? Just look. Amazon, has been under the 200-day moving average. That's not Amazon. I was like, what the hell is that? Amazon has been under the 200-day moving average for a while. Microsoft has been under the 200-day moving average for a while. Facebook, well under. PayPal, well under. Right? D-Dog, under the 200-day moving average. AMD, under the 200-day moving average. NVIDIA, under the 200-day moving average. It just goes on and on and on. Apple was the last one standing, and now it has finally fallen, and maybe we can finally get a big old flush in this market and start shopping some discounts for the long-term holds. Foxconn shutting down for 2 weeks, no iPhones. Yep, that's the last one. That was the last piece of the puzzle. Maybe now we can finally get the SPY to, you know, fall back on down to 410. I still say that we trade the SPY by summertime somewhere in here. We trade in there. And I think that all the way down here to 190s, yeah. 390s, sorry. And I think that that's where we trade for the rest of the year, between probably those 390s and like 420. I think that's where we'll trade for the rest of the year once we finally break down. We need to finally break down. The death cross is starting to occur here. You get this 50-day crossing down and under the 200-day moving average. What was the last one? AMC. See, AMC death cross, 50-day crossing down and under the 200-day moving average. 50-day starts to become resistance. You can see it right here. So looking for the same to start to happen here on the SPY. That's going to be a wild occurrence. It's definitely going to be a wild occurrence. The last time we got a death cross was way back here when the market crashed. Now I would not expect that kind of crash to occur. Prior to that, we got a little death cross here, a big dip as well. See it? Prior to that, don't really see one. So we'll see what that death cross how that death cross comes about. All right, so let's jump into the scans real quick here. Let's see what's going on before we jump into the known names. HYMC we already have on here. This one is all about AMC buying about 20% stake in the company. GFAI, well, I haven't seen this one hit the scans in a while. GFAI, let's see if this has any news on it. It's up 25, almost 26% on the day. No news that I see on this one. Not today anyways. And it is testing this 100-day moving average that has been a strong level of resistance. 140 would be a strong resistance potential level as well, because it was previously a support zone here. And it is resistance right now. So we're up here in front of the 100-day, and just above the 100-day, you got the 140s. So I wouldn't be too interested in that at all. EXN. It's just ugly charts, man. None of those look good. Let's check on the trade idea scans. HYMC, JFAI, EXN, the same ones that we have moving around right now. So nothing new there. GTLB, only one that's not on there. It's got no volume in pre-market. None whatsoever. All right, so far we do have HYMC, AMD, Apple, MULN. We will also look at Tesla, SPY, and NVIDIA. What do I think about plug today? There's no reason for it to do anything, honestly. It's in the middle of this huge channel from 17 to 26. It's literally in the middle of it. It's right in front of the 50-day moving average. It could either be choppy or a 50-day rejection for maybe a little fade. Maybe it gets back down here to 21. Unless a news catalyst comes through, there's really no reason for this thing to make any big moves right now. Because we're not at any place special. Maybe if it breaks up and over the 50-day moving average, at that point, maybe you get a little move. That's also possible, but you're going to need volume. You're going to need volume. So just keep an eye on the overall market, see what happens there. You might get a little fade here on plug back down to 21 if the market dumps some more today. Charge point couldn't break up over $17, $18 level. We drew this line the other day. When was it? On the 9th, we drew this line out. And why did we do that? Well, support, and it turned into resistance and support back here, see? So I'll be watching charge point, see if we can get back down here towards these 10s, 11s, so I can add to my long-term positions on these. I've bought charge point in these two areas. I've bought charge point. So I want to buy more. I only have very, very small starter position for my long-term hold on this. That's a long-term investment. Chris says, should I buy HYMC now? Chris, look, let me get you something, because those types of questions, are generally asked by newer traders, and there's nothing wrong with that. We all started at zero. But if you have to ask that kind of question, then more than likely what you really need to do is get a little bit more education, because no one that has any sense of morality is ever going to tell you, yes, you should buy this or you should buy that. Because the reality is that no one knows what a stock is going to do. The only thing we can do is play the odds. Play the odds. So is HYMC in play today? Absolutely it is. Let me get you a free course here. Give me 1 second. HYMC is, I'm watching the $2 area for support for a bounce back towards 3 if that happens. Hold on 1 second here, bud. Here you go, free beginner course. Alex says, thank you. I'm 20-year-old from Germany, trying to start trading. What you will watch today, market open. I'm trading with the leverage because my account is just 1 to 2,000. Alex, if you're brand new to trading, then my suggestion, all right? My suggestion is, what happened here? My suggestion is that you don't trade real money. Get into the courses, get into your study time, learn. It's going to take weeks, months. In my opinion, I always tell every new trader, grab a year and dedicate a year to learning and trading in a simulator. If at the end of that year you prove to be profitable in your simulator, then move on to trading small with live money. And while you're trading the simulator, make sure you trade the size that you would in real life. Meaning, if when you go start your real account, you're only going to start it with $2,000, then make sure that you trade your simulator in a $2,000 amount. Thank you guys, appreciate it. Trading is one of those things where new traders come in and then they automatically just open up an account with real money and they just start buying stuff. And the reality is that if you want to be a surgeon, you don't just show up at a hospital and pick up a scalpel, right? If you want to be an electrician, you don't just go and install a new power supply, in a warehouse. You don't go install solar panels, right? And battery banks. You don't go rewire a boat. You just don't go do that. You get trained. If you want to be a plumber, the same thing, you get trained, right? So trading is the only profession where people just come on in and like, well, hey guys, I'm here. And it doesn't hurt us as profitable traders. It hurts them. And I don't like to see that. It's sad to me. It really is. No, it's totally my pleasure, Alex. Taylor, that's awesome. Taylor says, I'm still new too, but what I found most important is being able to explain why I got in and why I got out of a position. Exactly. When in my Discord, I trade live, guys. If you're interested in swinging by, you can check it out here. 30 days for free right now. This goes away March 31st. Let me get you the link. In my Discord, what I do is, before I open a position, I get on the microphone, just like I'm doing here. The only difference is there's no lag in Discord. And I tell my members, my DTC Lights and my DTC Pro members, I tell you guys, this is what I'm looking at. These are the levels I'm looking at. This is where my stop, this is where my buy zone is. This is where my stop zone would be. This is where my take profits would be. That way, when the alert comes out, you understand why I'm already doing what I'm doing. The purpose of alerts is not for people to blind follow and mirror trade. The purpose of alerts is for you to learn why a profitable trader is getting in and out of a position at those given levels. So if you're in a place, if you're in a chat where people just put out alerts and they don't explain to you, you're not learning anything. They're doing you a gigantic disfavor. That's the purpose. The king, you lost 6,000 in one day. Oh, that hurts. My biggest loss ever was a little bit over 4,000 bucks. I made it back the very next day, and that was on Tesla. This was a few years ago, actually. One life, one chance. Alex, your education will cost you one way or another, either by losing everything or paying for education. As new trader, get involved with Jesse's course before you press the buy button. That's 100% one life, one chance. People fail to see that. You're gonna lose. One way or another, you're gonna lose, right? When you start trading. So you're either gonna pay for your education the hard way by learning as you go on your own, or you're going to pay for a course. One is painful. The other is paying for a product and service that helps with your learning curve. That's the difference. And people don't see that. And I've said it in different ways, but the way One Life, One Chance just wrote it in chat is 1,000%, 1,000% the best way that it can be said. So if you want to go through courses, here, you can get DTC Pro, 50 bucks off there. Young says, excellent advice. Thank you, thank you. Alex says, guys, I'm telling you a story. A few months ago, I shorted Alibaba with leverage of 70 and 2K and knockout price. I was so close top the knockout and the panic, sold with a loss of 200. Oh my God, man. See, and that's what happens, right? Like, look, for example, guys, when you get educated really well, you can identify what Alex identified, but then identifying it and taking the trade are two different things. Making money and keeping the money are two different things. These things you can do them easier as time progresses once you learn risk management. Boeing, we identified Boeing last week, guys. Remember here in the stream, we did it together. And on Friday, we caught Boeing short in chat. Right there, right off that level, we caught Boeing short. Let me show you. Go over to my alerts. Boeing, short, 182.88, stop over VWAP area. And we covered all the way through until 179.42 last cover on Boeing. Taylor says, my biggest loss was not having an accurate exit. The greed gets real. Could have had a 700% gain. Kept saying it will go back up until I was left with 400%. So exactly. It's really getting that education to know how to trade a trade plan properly. It's really what it comes down to. Wow, Alex, that's crazy. All right, guys, real quick here. Let's get back into this. So Tesla today, putting it on the watch list. So Tesla watching probably the 780s. Yeah, I'm going to watch the 780s. Tesla watching the 780s area. 782 area. to hold resistance for a drop back down towards 750s, or watching 782 to hold support for a move back towards 804 area. So that's what I'm watching on Tesla. One live, thank you. Yeah, guys, we got 33 people on the stream, 24 likes. Help me out there. Hit that like button. Alex, the Discord, there's a free section to the Discord. But it's you're not going to get me on the microphone going over my trades and going over lessons every day in and day out. It's just you're going to see chat, like typing. That's it. If you want to have, at a minimum, if you don't want to go through courses and you just want to have like a live feed like this, then the 30 days for free DTC Lite goes away on March 31st. That's 30 days for free, then it's $24.99. All right, so we got HYMC, AMD, Apple, Tesla, MULN, all on the watch list right now. All right, those are what we have on the watch list right now. Let's go look at the SPY. What time is it? Oof, time is ticking away. So let's go look at the SPY real quick here. And the SPY, today's day one of the Fed meeting. I'm going to be watching for 421 on the SPY to hold resistance. So SPY watching for 421 area to hold resistance for a drop back down towards 415 area. That's what I'm going to watch on the SPY. I'd expect today to maybe see a bit of a pop and then a little bit of a fade in the early morning session, followed by chop leading into tomorrow. Tomorrow will be day two of the Fed meeting, and then I think around 2:30, Jerome Powell will come out, do a press conference where he'll be asked. He'll talk about what they talked about, and then he'll do a Q&A session. Okay, so now pay attention here. What I'm really looking for out of the Fed is not so much the interest rate hike. Everybody knows we're getting 25 basis points. That's not going to change. If they come out and they do 50, that's going to shock the market. We're going to have a disgusting drop, and it'll be fun. But I don't think that's happening. If they come out and say, hey, guys, we're not going to raise interest rates right now. We changed our minds. We'll get a pop. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to get what they said they're going to give. And Jerome Powell in the congressional testimony the other day said they were going to give 25 basis points. Okay, that's what they said. So that's already priced in. So what matters? Why am I going to pay attention to this? Because what matters now is to hear what he says. What he says about balance sheet runoffs. Okay, what he says about future rate hikes. If the guy comes out and says, yeah, we're going to do 25 basis point now, next one we're going to do 50. Market's going to be like, wow, they're really going to get aggressive about this. Which honestly, they should have done 50 now, especially when the market thought we were going to get 50, but whatever. If they come out and they say, we have autopilot set, we're going to do 25 basis points moving forward, and the only way we change it will be data driven. And that is if the data shows that we need to go up and go to 50, we're going to do it. That's going to show the market that, hey, we're at a minimum going to get 25 basis points on every meeting, and it might even be higher. Market's probably going to pull back from that. Okay. What the market would like to hear, and where you might get a little pop. And remember, guys, when I say a little pop, it's not like, oh, we're going to pop and we're going to get ourselves all the way back up here. I don't think that happens this year at all. Much less new highs. I've been saying it since the beginning. We don't get new highs, new all-time highs this year. Okay. So what they would like to hear is basically Jerome say, we're going to do 25 basis points now, like we said we would. And moving forward, it's all going to be data driven. We're going to look at the data and we're going to adjust to the data. We're not on autopilot. If we get that, maybe we get a couple days pop. We get back up towards 427, maybe 427.50 before we start to fade it back down. I still think we go to 400, 390s to 405 by the summertime. All right. So that's still what I'm thinking. So that'll be what I'm watching today. And then the list will be HYMC, AMD, Apple, Tesla, SPY, Backburner, MULN. All right. Oh my God, it's 9:02. Guys, I got to get ready to get over to the Discord. We're going to put the final touches on this watch list and get it sent out to you in your email. If you're not signed up for the weekly watch list, you can do so right here. All right, thank you very much for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe and hit the like button. Also, today a new video will drop. I put together a quick little 3-chapter day trading course for brand spanking new beginners. All right, chapter 1 came out on Sunday. Chapter 2 is going to come out today. So make sure you take a look at that when it's on the channel, okay? Good luck out there today. Stay disciplined, and I'll see you all either in the Discord or tomorrow at 8 a.m. Peace out, guys.